Work done by 2 postdoctoral fellows in Donald McDonnell's lab led to a new treatment for metastatic breast cancer. Now, the mice bred to follow up on that breakthrough are in jeopardy.
We had a meeting this morning, right, about how we're going to have to kill a lot of our mouse lines because we've got to stay absolutely strictly focused on the major questions. We can't wander.
The Trump administration has stalled various funding avenues for the National Institutes of Health, money that pays for everything from student grants to the electric bills at places like Duke University.
I'm a very, very positive person. I'm really a glass half full. I got to say, the mood around here is not that great right now.
The university received $580 million in NIH grants and contracts last year alone, ranking it 11th nationwide. The issue is before the courts, but the threat is already forcing hard choices at Duke. Executive Vice Dean Colin Duckett had hoped to install new labs in this 50-year-old building. Now the school's expansion plans are shrinking.
If we get a reduction in rate, we have to make decisions across the whole institution about how many buildings we can have, how big we can be. And so buildings like this will have to be knocked down instead of renovated.
Beth Sullivan is a human geneticist. NIH funded the purchase and maintenance of this powerful microscope.
Basically, we look at human diseases that have some sort of chromosome abnormality associated with them.
She also oversees the School of Medicine's 17 PhD programs. Recruitment for the fall is in turmoil.
There's a lot of uncertainty around how many students can we actually bring in to the new class. This is happening all over the country, so our next generation of researchers are now poised on the edge of this cliff, not knowing if there's going to be a bridge that's going to get them to the other side, or if, this is it, we're at the edge of the cliff.
Graduate student Caleb McIver had initially applied for funding through a program to promote diversity, another of Trump's targets.
Pretty stressed.
Yeah.
What worries me is that the sort of sledgehammer approach.
Heather Whitson studies participants at risk for Alzheimer's disease to detect it earlier. She fears cuts will interrupt research that depends on continuity and hurt America's standing as a leader.
I sort of think of biomedical research as the patient. It's an important patient. We all want to save it. We all agree on the diagnosis that there's some waste and inefficiency. I worry that the treatment that has been proposed is going to kill the patient rather than treat the disease.
McDonnell figures he's received up to $40 million from the agency during his career. His lab costs him about $2 million a year to run.
We have grants that are submitted for review. They're just in a holding tank. They're not going to get funded on time. My group, we have never once been in the red. Not in my 30 years at Duke, 31, have I been in the red. We're likely to go into the red. And so that means I'm going to have to lay off people. I'm going to have to, turn down people who I've committed to. A very small piece.
McDonnell says if things don't get back to some kind of normalcy, irreparable harm will be done.
I can't think in this chaos, right? I'm not thinking about the next experiment these days. I'm thinking about who could I quickly write a grant to? What philanthropist can I reach out to maybe to help me with the stopgap? That's not what I should be doing.